Hey, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark.
Hello.
That's the man. Happy Raw Day.
Yeah, this was I had a good time in this Raw. This was a lot of fun.
I didn't hate it.
There were some stinkers. There were definitely some stinkers, but what needed to be good was really good. And
I wish we'd gotten more women's matches, but
yeah,
that should go without saying anytime we watch a WWE product.
yeah,
Except for tomorrow, because it's all about the women and Roddy.
and Grayson Waller.
And Grayson Waller. Honorary females.
um, but yeah, the women's stuff was definitely not amazing. Um, Although we did get to see Shayna murder Eva Marie, which was fun.
That was a good time.
Some confusing stuff, but some really fun stuff. We got Biggie versus Bobby twice, once in a steel cage. That was fantastic. And then we got probably one of Sheamus's or one of Damien Priest's best matches ever. Their match for the United States Championship was fantastic. Did you disconnect?
No,
Okay.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen. Up, kind of back. You're frozen a little bit again, but as long as you can hear me, that's what matters. I love when your camera speeds up to try and catch up to all that it froze during. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was good. Definitely leave some stuff about the draft up in the air. Mainly Mr. Drew McIntyre.
I kept saying that he was going to SmackDown,
A lot of people thought he would.
and Andrew's playing me a little bit. To be fair, he could still have the match. He could still lose. He could still move over.
Could happen on
And he
Monday. But I don't know. I feel like Drew McIntyre is in the place where he could do well on either brand. Cause he's not a
he's
big
been doing
baby
fine
face
on Raw.
anymore. Yeah. He'd do fine on SmackDown, he'd do fine on Raw. It's just the difference between him facing Roman Reigns and him not. But what I think is going to happen is they're going to have the match on Monday. He loses, and then is drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But what is a guarantee or a lock right now, and we can talk more about our guesses, our predictions for the draft later on, but I think it's safe to say that Damien Priest going to SmackDown is a lock.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then I think Shinsuke to Raw is a lock as well.
Yes, Shinsuke and Boogs going to Raw. Sounds pretty safe. As far as everyone else, it's very much up in the air, and it'll be exciting to see what happens.
I hope that we get a couple shockers.
I'm sure we will. If Shinsuke and Boogs are going to Raw, I wonder what tag team is going to be going to SmackDown. There's not really any tag teams that's maybe Mustafa and Mansoor, or
After tonight, I'm not sure we're ever gonna get Mustafa and Mansoor ever
I
again.
think we will. I think we will. I think that was just them talking. But it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting. I'm very excited for Friday actually. But shall we talk about this Raw in a nutshell a little bit?
Yeah.
I already mentioned Biggie and Bobby. We got the Hurt Business reunited. That was great. Shelton and Cedric are back with the Hurt Business. MVP is still out, but the two henchmen have returned. We also had Charlotte Flair's open challenge that Dewdrop accepted, which resulted in a not great match. Keithley's returned. Took down Akira Tazala.
Looked a little nasty doing it.
Yeah. He's the strong silent type, it looks like. And Ricochet hasn't been seen in a little bit. He's back.
Yeah.
And he faced Reggie for the 24/7 title.
To be fair, I think the reason that we didn't hate tonight was because this was a really good example of Raw actually using their roster, which they have not been doing well for a while.
Yeah, there were a lot of matches, and even though there were some that ended in non-finishes, they still used their extensive roster well. They focused on the wrestling.
Also, you know what else?
Hmm.
And I noticed this because of my notes. Not a lot of the matches were super long,
Yeah.
which I think is best for Raw. I don't think that Raw does well with like long ass matches because we know we got so much ahead of us. That long matches really only work for the main event and for like
The first
title
match.
matches. Yeah.
I think when they bookend with long matches, have one long match in the middle, and then the rest are maybe like longer than 5 minutes, that works. But when you having like Keithley come in and squash, that's fine. But having Carrion squash Jackson Riker.
Who?
Do you see that hold that he had at the end?
I literally did not watch the match at all.
You should watch the replay of his finish, because he held what's the name of his like headlock thing? Doesn't he have a name for it?
The
fallen prey.
the cross jacket.
The cross jacket. Riker was just not in there at all. Like he like where his head was supposed to be here, his head was down here.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I usually when like that Goblin Man comes onto the TV, I take it as my break from Raw. A little intermission.
No sign of Alexa Bliss though. No real mention of her. So who knows what's happening there? I thought she would make an appearance, even though I'm sure you'll mention it in the news that she's getting some time off. But yeah, it was all pretty decent. All pretty good. You want to go into the news?
I suppose we could. All right. So there's a lot of news, I think. I feel like there was a lot of news, and at the same time, I don't know. I didn't write any of these down. Okay, there's not a lot of news, actually. I didn't write any of these down, so it's going to be kind of a little bit of bouncing around. But let's start with the fact that former WWE star and former 0-1 star Ryan Sakota passed away at the age of 46.
Oh.
Yeah. Sakota was best known for his time on WWE SmackDown in 2003. This is according to Wrestle Talk. He tagged with Kyodai. He formed the tag team Kyodai with Akio Jimmy Yang as henchman for Tajiri. And then prior to that, he wrestled for 0-1 in Japan. And he and Samoa Joe actually captured the NWA Intercontinental Tag Team Championship. Very sad. So our condolences to family and friends. That is not a great story. And And then we've got a little bit of AEW news, nothing major. It is official that Full Gear is going to be on November 13th, as we talked about before, and it's also official that it will be in Minneapolis as opposed to St. Louis, and it is also official that it will be at the Target Center, like it was originally rumored to be.
Right.
So the poster actually has Britt, CM Punk, Kenny, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Jericho, Cole, Cargill, MJF, Wardlow, Darby Allin, Thunder Rosa, Christian Cage, Scorpio Sky. People that are not there are obviously Adam Page, the Young Bucks, Cody, Miro, Malachi Black, Andrade, Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy, Orange Cassidy, Ruby Soho, and more. But I also don't really ever assume that the poster says everything.
Yeah, agreed. Sorry, there was an ant on my charging cord, and I just...
There was an ant on my desk!
Luckily, we're calling an exterminator tomorrow.
Yes, we are. If you're an exterminator... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get, like, a discount code. If you need to exterminate a bug, use Pinfall10.
We'll give you a free sub. We'll gift you a sub. Alright. What's next?
What is next is there's a little bit of a health update on Jake the Snake. He said, not a major update, but basically he said that he's doing well and said thank you to everyone who cared. I don't know if we discussed this. It was apparently said that he had foot surgery and he's expected to return to AEW TV soon. So, apparently he's been cleared to work by doctors. So
that's good. That's good.
All right, so some WWE news. WWE has officially confirmed when Royal Rumble is happening, where it is happening, what day it is happening. Oh my God, Royal Rumble is going to be on a Saturday. I'm going to go insane. I'm going to lose it. I'm so excited. It has been confirmed that it's going to take place in St. Louis, Missouri on Saturday, January 29th. It seems to be part of their new trend of doing Saturday pay-per-views, which I much prefer.
I don't. I prefer
really?
Sunday. Yeah, because if I wanted to go out on a Saturday, if I wanted to do something Saturday night, and now I can't.
I don't see. My thing is that, like, when the winter comes, I don't plan on doing anything. I plan on staying warm. So, however, I'm excited. Also, Sundays suck because then I'd rather miss going out with somebody on a random ass weekend than I would rather wake up feeling like shit for work on Monday.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Also, the WWE is planning a pay-per-view for the UK for September of next year, which...
Wonder if it's going to be NXT UK TakeOver.
I don't know, because they said that they're planning a major pay-per-view event. Apparently, they are reportedly aiming to have 90,000 fans in attendance. Are even 90,000 people in the UK?
Maybe Walter will make his main roster debut.
Maybe. Obviously, there's not a ton of details right now because it's a year away. Mm-hmm. But also, if anybody thinks I actually mean, are there 90,000 people in the UK? I do mean it. Please correct me.
I've got a little bit of news too. So Ronda Rousey and her husband had their child. So, congrats to them.
That means the countdown's starting.
Yeah. If they even want her back.
Oh, they want Ronda back, trust me.
But do the fans want her back?
That doesn't matter to WWE, Mark.
Yeah.
Another piece of news: John Cena is going to star in a political thriller. Um, it is called The Independent. Um, Apparently it's got Jodie Turner-Smith, who was in Queen and Slim, and Brian Cox,
Oh,
as well as Kathy Bates.
interesting.
So it's a very built-out cast. Um, I mean, he didn't do a bad job in Suicide Squad from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he did a great job in Suicide. We're talking about Cena, right? Yeah, he's a great actor. He's probably one of the best parts of Suicide Squad. He was also in that. What's her name? Is her name Amy Schumer? The actress, the comedian. Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer is an actress and comedian. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in an Amy Schumer movie, with Bill Hader. He was good in that. He's funny.
Yeah. I mean, exciting for him. I look forward to seeing more John Cena in movies. He's also going to be in a movie that I don't know if it's pronounced Argyle or Argyll because there's two L's in it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's set to be in one of those movies. One of those movies. He's going to be in that movie later this year. Sorry, I don't have a brain. Last piece of news, and a piece of news that I think will segue us into tonight, is that Alexa Bliss is set to be off television for several months.
Yeah. It's been a
So
while.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's been a while since she's gotten time off, though.
I'm just wondering when she comes back if it's going to be like I wonder if we're gonna be like, oh my god, like Alexa Bliss, like the freak, has like progressed so much more, or if it's going to be Bliss cross Bliss.
I think
I feel like the WWE could do anything.
I think they left it at a place where she can come back basically anyway, but I think they're gonna bring her back as like more twisted than before. Also, I've got another little piece of news regarding PWG. So PWG had their Three Mendes 6 event the other day, and they issued a statement on Twitter talking about an incident. Apparently, during the event, 2 female fans groped some of the male fans as they came through the crowd and laughed about it. A trans fan was hit in the bathroom. Unconfirmed evidence, no complaint was made to the Globe Theater at the time, and supposedly racist attacks on wrestlers, but no video confirmation of that happening. And PWG tweeted saying, we are aware of the incident that was reported on Twitter last night during Three Mendes 6. Upon learning of the report, we immediately contacted the security and management of the Globe Theater, who investigated throughout the remainder of the night. No report was made to Globe or PWG staff or management last night. However, we are in contact with the victim and working closely with the Globe to address the situation. PWG is committed to being a safe, inclusive environment for all fans. We abhor and will not tolerate physical violence at our events. I think that's just addressing the trans fan that was attacked.
Well, I think also groping people counts as physical violence.
Right, but the tweets were stating one victim when the person in the who mentioned the list of issues mentioned multiple male fans were groped.
Gotcha. Well, god dang it, PWG.
I wouldn't blame PWG. I would blame the fucking fans.
Alright, goddamn PWG fans. I mean, good lord.
Yeah.
Is this really how you celebrate your promotion being back?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyways. I didn't change the sign, but I'm ready to move on to matches and promos if you are.
I am. All right, so let us go into the matches and promos. The recap from today's Raw is a decent enough Raw. We started off immediately with Biggie versus Bobby for the WWE Championship. My prediction of Goldberg coming back in this match was incorrect. He'd come back at another point. Just in the
Mark
promo.
has to drink one hard seltzer.
No. Yeah. Take it away. What is going on? What are you doing?
My sciatica hurts when I'm sitting.
Uh-huh.
So I was going to use my little acupressure pillow, but it hurts too much right now. So I had to remove it. Anyway. Let's begin. Let me find my cursor. Okay. So we get Bobby driving Big E into the corner. Big E slaps him, only for Lashley to just kind of fucking lose it. He pummels Big E in the corner for a little bit. He then grinds E into the ropes and hits him with a couple of cross faces. He sends Big E face first into the turnbuckle. E gets tossed ringside. Lashley goes ringside. He drives E into the barricade and then runs him into the corner post, as he often does. This time it didn't make any noise, though, which was very confusing. But Big E manages to hit Bobby with a belly-to-belly ringside. We get a flatliner to Big E back in the ring. Big E gets placed up top, gets hit with a few bear paws before Lashley meets him up there. E starts fighting back, sends Lashley to the mat. Lashley answers with a fist to the face of Big E. Big E manages to keep holding on. E fights Lashley down again, but Lashley runs at him with a forearm, and Big E hits the ground ringside. We then have a double clothesline that takes both men off their feet. They get back in the ring. They start exchanging blows for a little while. Big E gets whipped into the corner. He catches a charging Lashley. Nearly gets a Uranagi. But Big E's not strong enough for that. Lashley just brings Big E down with a neck breaker. We get elbow to the face of Lashley and a near big ending, but Bobby grabs the ropes before that can happen. They start exchanging blows over these ropes. Big E then spears Lashley off the apron. There's a spear to Big E. And then the Hurt Business come out. And then to counter the Hurt Business, the New Day come out. And ultimately, the New Day get into the ring to fight the men of the Hurt Business, and they DQ the match.
Yeah. Very, very big pop for Shelton and Cedric coming back. Also, I don't know if you saw Effie's post that he made stating his release. So he posted a picture of like a document stating, "From the desk of Effie, your reigning internet champion, for immediate release. After ending Matt Cardona's 3,711-day reign as internet champion, Effie has become the internet. Today and every day can be Effie Day, a day to celebrate letting your inner Effie shine and cause a little mayhem. Tonight and every Monday, the internet champion will be live on twitch.tv/Effie Lives, highlighting independent wrestling at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the first of its kind showcase, #Monday Not Raw." Effie has already defended the belt more than Matt Cardona, first against the Carver at Time Bomb Pro in Minneapolis, and soon against anyone in the world anytime except against Matt Cardona. Effie is the internet. Effie is fine. Effie is yours. Effie is forever. Blessings to you, internet champion Effie. If you can get past the horrible, gruesome violence that happens on GCW, like Alley Catch slashing somebody with a knife, they've got some incredible talent that is just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, death matches will never really be for me, unfortunately.
Well, there's death matches. Like AEW does death matches pretty well. But then there's like just gore fests, which are just shock factors. Those are definitely not for me.
Yeah, no. I'm not really good with death matches in general. I get stressed out when there's like a backlot brawl that's not in the WWE because like God only knows what'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
WWE backlot brawls and shit like that are always usually pretty PG, so I'm never that worried about those.
Yeah, the Sheamus Biggie one is a classic one.
That was fucked up. That was cruel.
Yeah. So after that, we had the Viking Raiders versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
We actually had Angel Garza versus Eric of the Viking Raiders because I also wrote it down like it was a tag match. But it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No. If you looked, Ivar was only wearing like his t-shirt. Like he wasn't wearing his real gear.
Oh.
I don't know who Humberto was. It was a very confusing moment for me. I'm glad you felt this way or that you thought it was a tag match because I was like, how did I not realize?
It's because Ivar and Humberto were standing on the apron the whole time until the end.
Well, Ivar stood to the ringside for a little while. Humberto jumped up to the apron to distract the ref or to distract Eric.
Right.
So, I don't know. Anyways, we get Eric versus Angel to start. Eric's just like ragdolling Garza. There's a clothesline to Eric, and then Garza takes those pants off, hits an abdominal stretch onto Eric, gets some clubbing blows onto his chest. There's a big boot to the side of Eric's face. Eric returns with a hard right to Garza. There's a boot to the midsection of Eric and a pump knee to Angel. Humberto then gets up to the apron and kind of starts taunting Eric with Angel's pants.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to throw them.
Yeah, something like that. And I liked it because I like Humberto and Angel together. I think they work really well. There's from this distraction a super kick to Eric from Angel, and then the wing clipper to end. I wrote the wing clipper to win clipper.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Also, I figured we could host another stream after the podcast is over, like a wrestler or wrestling podcast or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So after that, we had Reggie versus Ricochet for the 24/7 championship.
So Ricochet jumps over Reggie. Sort of like the floor is lava, but Ricochet is lava because Reggie won't fucking touch him. We get a headlock on Ricochet and a moonsault over Ricochet. Ricochet then moonsaults over Reggie because it's like, whatever you can do, I can do better. Except Reggie's gonna bury you. Ricochet then dives out onto Reggie. And then Gulak and Truth, who were ringside at this point, DQ the match by jumping on in, beating up Ricochet. Zawa comes out at Drake Maverick's behest, only to be cross-bodied by Reggie. Yeah. Nice to see Gulak. Would love to see Gulak doing real things. Would love to see any of these men doing real things.
Would love to see Reggie, hit someone, because he didn't hit anyone at all in the entire match. Not a single person. He did a little splash on Tazawa to win, or to get away. That was it.
That's frustrating.
So then we get Riddle in a backstage interview. He says, "I'm trying to get into the zone. Randy took this week off after beating AJ. He needed some time away from me. All I wonder is where is Randy? Is he getting ready for the draft or taking a bath? He runs hard for those chiseled abs. He's probably at home with munchies watching his best bro, me. I'm gonna make you proud against AJ Styles." And then Omos and AJ walk in and they just have a little stare down. And then we get Akira Tazala is still in the ring. He says, "I demand a match tonight." with R-Truth, with Drew Gulak, with Drake Maverick. I don't care who it is. And I thought this was some character turn for Akira Tazala. Like, oh, he's getting a little bit more serious. He wants to be an actual wrestler. No.
He's getting like maybe a push. Who knows?
No, they just wanted to vocalize the jobber. So then Keithley comes out and we get Akira Tozawa versus Keith Bearcat Lee. I wonder if this is the transition into him being known as Bearcat from now on, or if it's just going to be Keith Bearcat Lee, because there was already a wrestler named Bearcat, and I'm sure they wouldn't want to try and overwrite that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It sort of seemed like maybe that's what they were going for, but I guess time will tell. And I feel like time not only will tell, but will also like not quite notice it when it happens, you know?
Yeah.
So basically Keith slams Tozawa down, tosses him around the ring, and then hits him with a power slam right into the pin.
Yeah,
Fine.
this Keith is strong, silent, and quick. In and out. So then after that we had the interview with the New Day. Biggie says, I didn't know we were having a family reunion tonight. Cedric and Shelton want to bring their narrow behind in my business. When that cage goes up, you and me, it's going down, Bobby. I promised you I was going to cash in, and I did. I promised you last night we'd beat you, and we did. One more promise. In that cage, it's you and me. I promise you I will walk out as WWE champion. And then we get Damien Priest versus Sheamus in a no DQ match for the United States Championship. Excuse me. This was a hell of a match. This was great stuff.
Yeah, it really was. So a wrist lock brings us down to the mat. There's a headlock takeover to Damien. Damien gets the wrist lock back in, hits an elbow to the face of Sheamus, and then a broken arrow. We go ringside. There's a suplex to Sheamus out there. Damien goes off the stairs with a forearm to the face of Sheamus. Damien gets up onto the apron while Damien gets into the ring. There's a table at the bottom at this point, and some strikes over the ropes to one another ends in Damien. That's for suspense. Damien tries to send a boot to the face of Sheamus, only to be dodged, and Damien is then picked up and sent backwards through the table that is set up. Damien's back didn't look too hot after this. Back in the ring, we get a kendo to the face of Damien. Like, not against the face, but like pulled against the face, rather. Not a strike. But Damien tries to power out. If he gets it successfully, Sheamus then sets up a table in the corner. He goes off the top rope right into a kendo to the leg. Damien kind of just sets off at this point, hits him with a million more strikes. We get a back elbow to the face of Sheamus, and then some lefts and some rights, and a big kick to the face of Sheamus. Damien goes right into a steel chair that has been set up in the corner, though, slowing down his momentum significantly. Damien manages to pull himself together, though, just in time to literally throw a chair at the face of Sheamus. Off of that, he gets the South of Heaven. Still manages some kicks upside the head to Sheamus, who tries a brogue but can't quite get it. Sheamus then lifts Damien to ringside. Damien kicks Sheamus against the head again. He gets back in the ring to a knee under the chin. The base of the kendo is then sent right into Damien's back. We get a bell clap to Sheamus, though, and a kick. He wants the reckoning, but Sheamus lifts him. Damien, however, reverses Sheamus, who is like running Damien into the table that's been set up in that corner. Damien reverses, sends Sheamus through that table, hits the reckoning to win, and retain. C'est la vie.
Yeah. Fantastic match. Like, it was just brutal. It was great, and it's Damien once again proving that he's the guy. He
Oh, he
is
definitely is.
he is the guy to take down Roman. It's all a question. I think Seth will take the belt from him, the United States belt, and then that frees up Damien to go after Rome. Alright, so then we have Mustafa, Ali, and Mansoor in Gorilla. Mustafa says, was this your idea? A 6-man tag match? Mansoor says, are you not excited to be in a team with Jeff Hardy? This could be the difference between being drafted separately and us winning and being drafted together. Mustafa says, you know what? I would tell that freak to his face. And Jeff Hardy walks in and says, what would you say, Ali? And Mansoor says, we're honored to team with you tonight. Jeff then starts talking about their opponents. Jinder, Veer, and Shanky. It says, I've faced bigger opponents than these guys tonight. I can't wait to twist their fate. And then we have Mansoor, Mustafa, and Jeff versus Jinder, Veer, and Shanky.
Yeah. This was a good match for the most part. More so on the part of Jeff, Mustafa, and Mansoor.
Yeah.
So, oh, something in my
eye. T-Par fucking tweeted in all caps, we still want the Raw Tag Team Champions, unless, of course, we get drafted to SmackDown, in which case we would want the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but if we get split up, then I'm not really sure what I want.
If they get split up, I'm going to Stamford, Connecticut myself.
Fucking WWE can't afford to split up any of their tag teams. Except maybe
they
the Street
will.
Profits.
Listen, they can't afford to split them up, but they might benefit from splitting them up.
Yeah.
In some form.
Whatever that means.
Alright, so we start with Shanky and Mustafa first. There's a sidewalk slam to Mustafa. Veer gets in. He gets driven into the corner. Jeff. Why is Jeff driving somebody into the corner? I don't know. My note's weird. But Veer gets in. Mansoor also gets in. Veer goes to tackle Mansoor. Gets absolutely none of it. Because, like, he does that thing that he always does where it's like, he springs off the ropes, like, lunging at somebody, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But he went over Mansoor's head. And, like, got none of it. He ended up hitting the elbow drop. Yeah. Which was devastating looking, but... there's a knee to the chest of Mansoor. Shanky gets back in. Jeff gets in. Shanky didn't do too awful much because Jinder got in right off of that. There's some forearms to Jinder. He takes Veer and Jeff takes Veer and Shanky off the apron. We get my favorite move, the inverted atomic double leg dropkick and a splash. By God, if Jeff Hardy's one thing, it's goddamn consistent.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, like, I always make a joke of, like, tying all those moves together into one name.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment I know that the moment he starts with the inverted atomic drop, immediately my brain knows exactly the next words I have to type. It's like a fill in the blank for me. We get a failed twist of fate. Jeff sends an elbow to Mahal. Ali gets in. There's a bulldog to Jinder that looked fucking nasty. It was a good one. But Veer breaks up the cover. Jeff then attacks Veer, who throws Jeff ringside. I have no business yawning this much.
Same.
There's a hobbling Shanky who, I don't know if you noticed that. Shanky was, like, limping a little bit.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, and it wasn't commented on, so I was like, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jeff's ringside. Shanky hobbles on over, wants to chokeslam Jeff, but he gets attacked by Mustafa. No, he doesn't. He gets attacked by Mansoor. My notes are all over the place tonight. He gets attacked by Mansoor, flying off of the stairs. Mustafa, back in the ring, gets hit with a corkscrew toss and a lariat from Veer for Jinder and his men to win.
Yes, yes, yes. So then we get another promo from fucking Karrion. He says, "My name is Karrion Kross. I've never felt more alive than now. I've just begun to face the vindication of erasing souls. No one truly knows where they'll end up by the end of this. It all ends with the unsightly agony I cause. In the end, they will fall and pray." And then we get Karrion versus Mr. Jackson. Nothing to talk about there except a cross jacket, a very poor cross jacket to end it all. And then we have Dewdrop and Sonya and Adam Pearce backstage. Sonya walks in and says, "Can I have a title match? Can I accept the title match?" And Sonya's like, "Well, we'll see. If you win the championship, can you do the dance you do, like the little dumb thing?" Why is she asking them if she can accept an open challenge? That's the whole point of having an open challenge. Anyone can accept it.
Here's the thing also, why is fucking Sonya bringing up Naomi?
Yeah, she did bring up Naomi.
Raw.
Like, she was like, as long as you're not like Naomi, you know.
Yeah, it's like, this feud is weird as shit to me. And it's only getting weirder because we've had zero qualification for why Sonya feels the way she does. Like, yeah, she gave us reasons last SmackDown, but like, the reasons didn't have any backup, so...
Yeah. Yeah. So then we had a little promo from Bobby. He says, "Biggie, you call yourself the rightful WWE champion. You became champ by cashing in after I had a grueling match. In the cage, I can either beat you up and climb out, or beat you up in the middle and ask the ref to open the door." And then we have Riddle versus AJ Styles. This was a really fun match. And the finish was really cool, too.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the finish was really cool. So there's a back elbow to Riddle in the corner. Riddle turns it around with some kicks to the chest of AJ. AJ kicks the hamstring of Riddle twice. He goes for another, but Riddle catches AJ. Hits him with like a leg lariat of sorts, bringing him down to the mat. Hits him with a senton. Gets him in the gut wrench. Throws him backwards. Rolls through. Does it another time. Does it a third time. AJ then just tosses Riddle to ringside. And hits a sliding knee to his face on the apron. And when I say he tossed him to ringside, I mean took Riddle and his entire vertical body and tossed him over the ropes.
Yeah.
And you just see Riddle go fucking bonkers.
It's great.
That was one of those things. Like, also, there were a couple moments tonight where I was like, "Oh my," you know.
Yeah.
So there is then a backbreaker to Riddle, back in the ring. AJ then throws Riddle to ringside again, gets him back in the ring, splashes him in the Riddle splashes Styles in the corner and then hits him with a snap suplex. He wants another senton, but AJ gets his knees up. There's a series of strikes from AJ before a snap German suplex to Styles, and a pump handle gutbuster to Riddle. Styles goes up for the phenomenal forearms, but Riddle sends him off the ropes. And by sends him off the ropes, I mean shakes the ropes, and Styles smacks his chin against it. You see his head just snap back, and I was like, oh my god. Okay. So we then have a PK to the chest of Styles now that he is ringside and Riddle is on the apron. Riddle goes up top trying to get the floating bro once we're back in the ring, but he is brought right into a calf crusher as he hits the mat. Riddle ends up reaching the ropes. I kind of thought the calf crusher was it. But AJ goes back to that same leg, can't quite get anything. He slips right into Riddle's knee to the face. Riddle, however, goes for the RKO, instead gets caught by AJ, who nearly kills Riddle with a burning hammer, and then hits him with a Styles Clash. Win.
Yeah, the burning hammer was gnarly. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was fucking wicked.
Then we have an interview with Shayna Baszler. We didn't talk... Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. We had an interview with Shayna Baszler where she's asked about why she did what she did last week, and she just walks away. And then we get Charlotte Flair versus Dewdrop for the Raw Women's Championship.
Yee. So there's a shoulder tackle that flattens Flair, and then another one. Charlotte wants to suplex Piper with no luck. We get a knife edge chop to Flair, and then a senton onto her. And then Eva comes out, and Charlotte hits Piper with a natural selection. Win.
Yep. Then we had a promo. Oh, then Eva's. Oh no, this comes later. Then we have a promo from Goldberg. He says, "Lashley, let's talk man to man right now. I don't know what kind of father you are. I hope you're a better father than a liar. You had the balls to come out and say what happened was a misunderstanding. I swore I would do anything within my power to protect my son. You hurt him. Now I will fulfill the promise I made to my wife and son and to you. I'm going to hurt you real bad. If I'm lucky enough, I'll even kill you. One thing people forget is during that process is that I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Gage Goldberg is my son, and you are about to be my victim." Really good promo from Goldberg.
Sunberg's got a good man on his side there.
Yeah. I mean, the heat Goldberg is coming out with. This is easily gonna be a Goldberg win. And then we had Eva Marie in the ring. And she says, "If I have the opportunity that Dewdrop just had, I would be Raw Women's Champion," as she called it. "I am tired of being taken advantage of and the disrespect, especially from all of you." Shayna Baszler then comes out. She attacks Eva and puts her in the Karafuda clutch, and then on the steps gives her and stomps her elbow, and she's just standing over her, a lot more satisfied than when she did it to Nia last week. And this is the Shayna that's great. One that is just incredibly brutal and does this to people. And then we had Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash an interview. I don't know why we had this. Rhea says, "Nikki and I are opposites, but sometimes they attract. What we have in common are these titles. We go wherever we want, whenever we want." Nikki said, "Super Brutality is ready to fly, and now we need matching outfits." And Rhea didn't really vibe with that, even though she's rocked the blue and yellow before. I'm
glad she didn't vibe with
it. And then we have Biggie versus Bobby Lashley in a steel cage for the WWE Championship. Fantastic match.
So Biggie is immediately kicked out of the cage before the match starts. He gets tossed around and run into the post, and we kind of just like run around the ring a little bit like this. Once we get into the cage and the match starts, the first thing we get is a Uranagi off the bat to Lashley. Lashley shoves Big E into the corner, hits him with a vertical suplex. Lashley's then sent upside down into the cage side wall, and then several more times. Big E wants the big ending. Lashley wants the hurt lock. Big E is too strong for that. He powers out of it pretty handily. Instead, Big E gets suplex. So I mean, there's a saying that I have half of it in my head, and I'm not going to bother saying it right now. Lashley goes to climb out 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. That's what I was going to say. It means either way, it's kind of like same outcome.
Okay.
It's the same thing at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Lashley then goes to climb out, but Big E attacks his legs. He tries to get a big ending, but gets put into a dragon sleeper, and damn, it looked like Big E had fainted. Got real nervous.
Yeah.
Bobby then tries to climb out again. He starts climbing, slamming Bobby into the cage wall. And then Shelton and Cedric come out again. And they stop E from getting out. They force him back down the cage wall. Lashley goes to crawl out of the door, but Woods comes through, slams the door shut, takes out Cedric, who is screaming at the top of his lungs. Love that. Missed that. Kofi takes Shelton down. We get some big belly-to-bellies to Lashley and then an elbow drop to E. E hits the big ending, but Lashley kicks out.
That broke me. That broke me a little bit. They buried the big ending.
Ah, damn. There's an uppercut to a nearly escaped Big E, and then a spine buster to Big E, and then Bobby starts climbing, and E starts climbing. At this point, we're kind of both on top of the ropes, more or less. And Big E hikes up Bobby and hits him with the big ending.
Mm-hmm.
Win.
Yes. All right. So then, after the match, cage is being lifted. Big E's standing in the ring victorious. And Drew McIntyre comes out. And he simply points the sword at Big E, and Big E is like, yep, we're doing this. Because if you remember, Drew McIntyre couldn't challenge for the title anymore as long as Bobby was champion. And now he's not. And so this is going to be a great match. I mean, these two guys are incredible in the ring and in promos, so I expect some really good stuff out of this. But yeah, that's our recap. Liz, you want to move on to bests of the night?
Yes, let me change the sign.
And I've started keeping track of like the ladders, like you know how AEW has like the rankings for their show. Started keeping track of the rankings, how AEW will be doing it for WWE and Impact, and right now leading each division. I started this like 2 weeks ago, so it's a bit rough to start out, but leading each division, leading the women's division on Raw, it was Dewdrop. Having her challenge today was actually like part of the rankings, and it was actually pretty good. But now it's Nikki Ash. Leading the men's division is Karrion Kross. Leading the tag division is Angel and Humberto. And the women's tag leading that is Liv and Tony. Shockingly. So I wonder if they'll like I wonder if they do like kind of stick to that low key, like in their heads. I know sometimes they don't, but I wonder if they have something like that in their offices or something. All right, so let's talk about best of the night. Promo of the night. Not so sure. There wasn't that much in terms of promos, which is actually really good. You know what? You know what I might go with for promo of the night? I'm gonna go with Goldberg.
Okay.
That was that got a pop from me. Him out for blood.
Hey, you know what? I like seeing Goldberg going for something that's not a title.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So wrestler of the night now. Do you know who you're gonna pick for wrestler of the night? It's a pretty extensive list to go through.
Maybe just choose like your top 3, top 4.
Let's do top 3. So my top 3 are Biggie, Bobby Lashley, and Damien Priest.
Okay. I think that's fair.
You want me to say who I'm gonna pick, or do you want to pick first?
I think I know who I'm gonna pick.
Think so?
Yeah.
I want to go with Damien Priest.
I was gonna go with Damien Priest as well.
I feel like no amount of double duty will beat the performance he had in that match. It was incredible. I mean, eating that bump when he took that nasty landing from the White Noise, and to keep going on fire. Damien, who knew a year ago? If we knew, like if you had told us a year ago that Damien Priest would be the hottest guy in WWE right now, like the hottest up and comer, and would be the guy to dethrone Roman, you'd think you're nuts. Think you're smoking crack or something.
Yeah, I know.
All right, you want to take
I'm not upset about it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, not at all. I mean, he's performing so much better in Raw than he had been on NXT, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare circumstances. All right, so let's talk about match of the night. We'll go from worst to best, like always, starting with the worst 3 out of 10. I'm going with Charlotte Flair versus Dewdrop. This match was so short, had the distraction. You didn't need the distraction. There should be no point where you need to protect Dewdrop over Charlotte. Like, just let Charlotte win and get the pin. Like, and plus, Eva won the feud, or Dewdrop won the feud against Eva. This shouldn't continue. Like, why did she come out? This is stupid.
I don't think they know what else they want to do with her.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. They could have just had the match normal. So then, next up, another 3 out of 10. Karrion Kross versus Jackson Riker. It's not a good match. The finish was poorly placed. Like, it's bad. It's just bad.
I don't recognize that match.
Next up, another 3 out of 10. Reggie versus Ricochet. Just have Reggie fucking wrestle. Have him attack somebody. Like, why is this so difficult? He's a wrestler. I know he gets views on TikTok for doing flippy shit, but he can do flippy shit and hit people. Ricochet does. Ricochet does just that.
Ricochet should have been an ideal opponent for him.
Yeah, like this should have been an actual match. And thank you, Miriam, for reminding me. I keep forgetting. If you have a question for our question segment, leave it in the chat now, and we'll get to it in the next episode. We'll get to it after the best of the night. If you're watching on YouTube, though, leave a question in the comments, and we'll get to it in the next episode. All right, next up with a 4 out of 10, Akira Tazala versus Keithley. It was a squash. It served its purpose. That's all you can really ask. Next up, 5 out of 10. Mansoor, Mustafa, and Jeff versus Jinder, Veer, and Shanky. It was a decent enough match. It was pretty short. It served its purpose, and I thought Veer looked great coming out of the match. Next up, 5 out of 10. Viking Raiders versus Angel and Jumberto. I guess Eric versus Angel. I don't know. Yeah, it was decent enough. Angel's really good. Angel's really good at what he does, and Umberto, um, being like his partner has been some great stuff. Some great stuff. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Give them more wins. Give them a title shot. Next up, six out of 10. The first Biggie versus Bobby Lashley match. It was fun, but it did end in a DQ. But that DQ brought in Shelton and Cedric to be reunited with Hurt Business. This was a DQ I was hyped about, unlike Sasha Banks returning. This was great. I just thought it was a lot of fun. The match itself was a lot of fun. Yeah. And it made way for an even better match later tonight. So next up, 7 out of 10, Biggie versus Bobby Lashley in a steel cage. This was a ton of fun, great stuff, great use of the cage, and these guys can just put on a banger. Then 7 out of 10, Riddle versus AJ Styles. A lot of fun, just pure fun wrestling, really great stuff. The Burning Hammer was the beautiful way to end it. And then lastly, my pick for match of the night, Damien Priest versus Sheamus. This might be their best match. This was incredible, really brutal, great stuff. This should have happened at Extreme Rules. This really should.
Say, respect to Jeff Hardy, and even he could have been around for it. This should have been what Extreme Rules was. I mean, It was a triple fucking threat.
Yeah. It was a triple threat. They didn't need to give it a no DQ stipulation because by nature it's no DQ, but they could have introduced all this stuff. Like the tables. But yeah, this match was fantastic. Really, really fantastic. And Sheamus continuing the mocking by doing the shooting the arrow into the air. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my pick for match of the night. Do you agree?
I do agree, and I'm glad that Sheamus mocked both Jeff last night and Damien tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he mocks his next opponent wherever he goes. All right, so let's run it back. Promo of the night, Goldberg addresses Bobby Lashley. Wrestler of the night, Damien Priest. Match of the night, Damien Priest versus Sheamus in a no DQ match for the United States Championship. All right, you want to answer some questions?
Yee.
And then everyone stick around after the podcast. We're going to host someone stream, if anyone's streaming right now. All right, so Miriam asked, who is a WWE wrestler from each brand that you'd want to get drunk with? Ooh. Has to be WWE, one from each brand. Let's include NXT UK in this. There could be some fun people there.
Okay. First of all, used to me have a problem. Yeah.
So
that was stressful.
Let's start with Raw.
Oh, okay.
Someone to get drunk with. Oh man. Maybe I want to say like Xavier Woods, but like he's got a kid.
Well, let's assume that they've got a sitter and they can go to a hotel afterwards,
Okay.
so like they don't have to worry about being drunk in front of their family.
Okay. But Biggie would be
like,
a good option.
Y'all are out on the town.
Okay. Biggie would be a good option. But so would Damien. Damien would be a lot of fun. What?
Yeah, Damien would be a lot of fun and totally what I was thinking and nothing else. I was just thinking, like, just to say. No, I would say Sheamus.
Oh yeah, I feel like he'd start a fight though.
Fucking fun.
He'd start a fight.
No, he'd be fun as hell. And I feel like what would be great, honestly, Sheamus and I drinking soccer game. We support the same exact fucking team. We could get drunk. We could yell at the TV. I'm sticking with that answer. I don't know why I would have ever considered anybody else.
Well, my ideal drinking partner is just. Oh, thank you. I hope I pronounced this right. Montanez 1998. Thank you for the follow. My ideal drinking partner is someone to just have like a great conversation with, not someone to get rowdy with, someone to like really just have a really deep late night conversation while drunk. Because those are the best.
If anything, this should probably depict exactly the differences between Mark and myself when it comes to drinking.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just here to have a good time. Mark's like, let's get to know ourselves.
Not even just like let's get personal.
But you get moody. You get moody when you're drunk.
Not all the time.
No, I'm not saying moody like it's a bad thing. I'm saying you get more emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
And drunk Liz is just a dumbass.
I'm like going through the roster to see if any names pop up. Ivar could be pretty fun.
You cut out for literally that entire sentence.
Ivar would be fun to get drunk with. Maybe Angel.
Angel could be fun. I'm trying to think of a woman, but I don't think there's any women that I'd really...
Rhea?
Maybe Rhea? Maybe? She'd probably pull some shit where it's like, I don't drink beer because like there's too many carbs, and I'd be like, oh, now I feel bad about myself, Rhea.
I'd probably do Ivar. I get drunk with Ivar because I feel like he's somebody who can be like really down to earth and just like chat, but he can also get like rowdy and fun because his whole thing's being a Viking raider.
I'm sticking with Sheamus for Raw. I think me, Sheamus, soccer game, beer would be a beautiful combination. And on top of that, we're both very loud individuals.
Mm.
On top of that, I would love to see if I can go drink for drink with him. I think I could.
Yeah.
I
So
genuinely think I could.
I don't think so. He's an Irish man, a very big.
And I'm Irish.
Man.
I'm just a small person.
You're not from Ireland, though.
True, but I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
I am 1/15 Irish.
No, that was not what I was gonna say. I was going to probably say something rude about my family. But no, I think I don't know. I have a good sense of these things. I'm also not a lightweight, so.
Also, Montanez said, "Well, Raw didn't suck, but I wonder why. Probably because Bray time on Wyndham time on Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, maybe they decided to step it up because maybe they know what's coming. Thank you, Jack Goff, for the follow. It's a tricky name right there.
Let's see. Okay, so
SmackDown.
Do you want to do SmackDown?
SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown's easier because there's Rick Boogs. He would be
Boogs
fun.
is definitely an option,
but he might get overwhelming.
Yeah.
Maybe Montez.
Maybe.
Or Dawkins. Dawkins is also really good.
I'm trying to think of somebody from SmackDown.
Imagine.
Oh, but Finn might be really fun.
Finn would be really fun. Yeah, okay.
It would be super fun. I feel like Finn would like take you to like a really fun bar.
And if we're talking women, Bailey.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I would probably either choose, if we're going with men, I'd choose either Finn or Seth, or I'd choose Bailey for women.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because Seth, Bailey, and I are all Geminis, and I'm sure we wouldn't shut the fuck up, and I love that for us.
Okay. So for a solid answer, I'm gonna say Finn and Bailey.
Okay, I'll say Seth.
Okay. No Becky? Becky's also I feel like she can be rowdy and she's
She doesn't drink.
She doesn't?
She does not drink.
Oh.
Or at least she did not drink for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
NXT though.
NXT. There are some really good options in NXT. Johnny is one of them.
I'd do Marcel Bartel just so I can make fun of him for an entire evening.
again, you keep picking Europeans. You can't go drink for drink with Europeans.
Okay. One, I definitely could.
No.
Two, we're never gonna know the answer, so I'm just gonna say yes, I could.
There's what about Joaquin Wilde? I know you want to fight him. There's that option. Miriam said, I believe she could absolutely go drink for drink with Marcel.
Thank you. I fully trust myself.
Who else is in NXT? Tegan. Oh no, Tegan's SmackDown now. Tegan would be fun.
I'd almost say Dakota, but
yeah. Dakota would be a lot of fun to drink with.
Am I allowed to say Duke Hudson? Or is that
you're allowed
obvious bias?
You're allowed to say Duke.
Okay.
Grayson could be fun. He'd get fucking rowdy.
Probably.
God, who else is in NXT now? It's like nobody.
What about Andre Chase?
Dexter Loomis. Oh, Indy would be a lot of fun to drink with.
I feel like if I went drinking with Johnny would probably like set me to rights. Like, not in like a bad way, but like I feel like I'd have like one conversation with him and he'd be like, well, you've got to do this, this, and this. And I'd be like, oh.
He'd be calmer than Seth. 100%.
Yeah, no, I feel like he would like literally tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'd be like, oh.
Miriam also said, I don't think you could go drink for drink with Duke.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I'll sit back on that one, actually.
There's also MSK, although I don't think Nash drinks.
That I don't know. I feel like the obvious answer is staring me in the face.
Kyle?
What about Ridge?
No. No. Ridge will start
fights.
Why
not?
Ridge will start fights.
I'm lost on this one.
Oni.
Oh, you're scared of Ridge starting a fight?
Yeah, but Ridge is like Ridge will start.
Remember the time Oni tweeted, "I've had 3 strawberry daiquiris. I'm gonna fuck up the next person that looks at me."
Yeah, like Ridge would get drunk and start a fight after drinking beer. Oni would get drunk off the strawberry daiquiris and get in a fight. One is a lot more fun than the other. We also got to think of the commentators like Wade Barrett. Vic would be a lot of fun, or Beth. All of them would be a lot of fun to drink with.
I'm looking at the roster right now and just seeing if there's anybody that I'm not thinking of.
There's Ember. Ember would be fun.
That is true.
Nice, decently calm evening. She seems like a leveled person.
Yeah, I think I think I would probably choose. I choose Marcel Bartel.
Surprised not saying
knock that man down a peg. Oh no, I don't know what would come of drinking with Tim. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's too much of an enigma for me.
Yeah.
What I would do is I'd go drinking with Marcel, and then like after like the 5th drink, maybe I'd pull up his Instagram and be like, "Why do you take all these pictures, bud?"
There's also Samoa Joe.
True, that'd be fun.
LA Knight. That'd be fun.
I was surprised you didn't say that first.
I'd probably do Indy though. I feel like she could be a nice level person who can get fun when she wants to.
Okay, so our choices as follows are, for me,
there's still
Sheamus.
NXT UK.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Noam. Noam would be so much fun.
What if, okay, so I'm thinking like you, me, and our picks. Mm-hmm. You can have Noam, I'll bring Kenny. We won't understand them after a couple of drinks.
Or you bring all of Pretty Deadly.
And I asked them what the fuck is up with their pants.
Yeah.
I would probably, I don't know.
Well, ask
Noam's a
Morgan
good
Webster
one. Yeah,
or
that's
Mark
true. That's an
Andrews.
option. Wait, let me see if I can pull up NXT UK real quick.
There's also Jack
Well,
Stars.
there's Ilya.
Ilya. Ilya would be so far ahead of us. Like that wouldn't be fair. I mean, he's a fucking, is he Ukrainian? Was he
He's
Russian?
Russian.
Okay.
He's like real Russian. Yeah, I probably choose Noam
Yeah.
with Kenny as like a runner up.
Yeah, that's fair. A-Kid's
Mostly
also
because
a good option.
yeah, A-Kid's a little too quiet for me. I need somebody that's loud and annoying.
All right. So we're both saying Noam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. I've chosen Sheamus, Seth, Marcel, and Noam.
I forgot who I picked from Raw.
Did you pick? I don't know who you picked.
Yeah, I don't know who I picked either. Who the fuck did I pick?
Did you pick
Oh,
Damien?
Ivar. I picked Ivar.
Oh, you picked Ivar.
Ivar. Did I say? Who did I say from SmackDown? Tez?
You said Bailey.
I said Bailey for a woman. Finn. I'll go with Bailey. So, Ivar, Bailey, Indy, and Noam.
I think that's a pretty fun time for you and pretty fun time for me.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the questions we have. Stick around, everyone. We're going to host somebody right after Liz closes out the show. Liz, why don't you close out the show for everyone?
Okay. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if you tune in the future, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop doing that. Please tune in tomorrow night because we will be talking about NXT. I'm not saying the rest of that because it's not the second iteration.
I could say 3.0.
3.0. Yeah, please tune in. We'll be live tomorrow night. And then the night after that, we'll be live with our WWE 2K20 live stream. So you literally could get sick of us so quickly. And I guarantee you, it's worth trying.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Follow and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the live show, twitch.tv/thepinfallpodcast. If you're watching on Twitch and you want to catch up on all of our recaps, our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And we'll see you tomorrow for NXT. And we're going to go ahead and host the Sweets Live with Tyler Breeze and Sean Spears. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yee.